All right, our bill search is done. Took us 2 nights, but it's finished. I'm gonna do a quick recap of what was found. It's late at night, so no one's watching this live, but we did $3,500 in $5 bills. And in total, we found 5 common star notes, which are right here. Just common 3.2 million print run star notes. Found one rarer star note with a 640,000 print run. We had one low serial number in the 5s, 4 leading zeros, not bad. We had a birthday note, July 6, 1941. An older birthday, but a birthday nonetheless. And a fancy with 6 2s in it, all in pairs, separated. That was kind of a cool note. And it's not in terrible shape. Not the worst, not the best, but we'll take it. On the ones we went through 5,500 ones. We found a total of 39 star notes, quite a bit lighter than what I would hope, but you get what you get. Here are the 29 common ones we found. These are all, most of them are 3.2 million per runs, or maybe 1 or 2 that are a little over a million, 1.2 million, but over a million per runs here. We had a couple from the same run with 800,000 print runs. These are still regular star notes, not sheet notes, but regular. But they're from the same bundle. Had a couple of 640,000 print run star notes. And we had 3 500,000 print run star notes, one of which is a 2021 series. That was a cool find. And last but not least, with star notes, we had 3 duplicate B Series 2013 star notes. These star notes were made twice in a way. These serial numbers were printed at both the District of Columbia facility and the Fort Worth facility. My favorite of the 3 is definitely the one here in the middle with the 4 6s in it. That would be a fancy serial number. That will fetch a premium. And it's also made in the District of Columbia facility, because look next to that little I right there, you'll see there's no FW like you see here. The FW stands for Fort Worth. That's a DC note. That's a Fort Worth note. These are both printed at different facilities, but there is one of each of this serial number printed at each of these facilities. People are doing their best to find these because they are worth a lot of money if you find the sister notes to them. These are worth between $25 to $40 a piece nowadays. Those are always my biggest focus. Now we had some other finds too. We had a couple of 1985 series notes. I don't ever keep notes that are only this old. But I hardly ever find 85 series and 83 series. They're just tough to find in circulation at all. So these were in decent enough shape. I mean, not in their best, but I almost never find them. This one kind of has a little bit of a unusual gap between the 8s. If you see that, I mean, it's not extreme, but it's enough that I noticed it. I don't think it'll fetch more than normal value anyway. We had a couple of off-center cut bills. They're not horribly off-center, but they're close enough to where I kept them. They might bring a little bit of a premium because they're really close to the border. They're still within specifications technically, but they're off enough where I decided to pull them out. We had some pretty good fancies as well. This one here is 4 leading zeros, 5 of a kind. I normally only keep 4 of a kind if they're zeros and they're trailing. Typically, these notes get pulled out of circulation by the BEP employees. For some reason, they like to pull the 4 or 5 zeros or 9s out of the straps. They didn't get this one. Had a couple of really good binary notes. Sorry, let me see here. Right here. 1s and 3s. And this one's in rough shape, but that was probably my favorite serial number, 500, 550. That's a great binder. Had that been in better condition, that would be a pretty viable note. But as it is, 10 to 12 bucks probably at most. Pretty rough condition. This one's a little bit better, but they're worth a little bit of a premium. Had a couple of radars as well. This one here, 3079 going backwards. The serial number reads same backwards and forwards. This one here is my favorite of the two. I didn't even notice it at first. I just thought it was a regular trinary, but I read it, and lo and behold, 0120, 0120. It's almost a ladder with zeros in the middle, and it also has the year 2000 in the center of it. So it can be like January 2002 and 2002 October. Somewhat of a birthday in a way. That was my favorite of the two radars, one of my favorites of the hunt. Had a couple of double triples, I call them. This one having 3 6s and 3 5s in the serial number. This other one having 3 0s and 3 5s in the serial number. This one could almost be considered a low serial number also because it has 3 leading zeros, but I don't usually keep that unless it has 4. Still a cool find. Had a kind of a cool trinary here. 702, 702, 77 in the middle, and 702 at the end. Kind of a bookends note. And also 3 7s in the center, which kind of makes it a lucky number to some people. One of my favorite finds was a 1977 series note with an angled cut on this end here. This edge is cut at an angle compared to the other side. I thought it might have been damaged or cut recently, but I compared it to other notes. Just to give an example, I'll have to compare it with this one. Flush it up at the one end. And if you look, the bottom, it's a little bit longer here at the bottom. If you flip it over and line it back up, this end is a lot further out than it should be. Definitely a misaligned or angled cut. Plus, it's a 1977 bit series, so it's actually an older note. Really cool find here. We also found a couple of decent bills with kind of cool serial numbers. This one starts with 0 and 4455511. Had it not beginning with 0, I probably wouldn't have kept it, but it's in really good condition, brand new. So I pulled that out of circulation. And this one here, it starts with a 0, but it has 7s and 8s. And 7 8s are lucky. Not in the best shape, but these do fetch a premium on the line. People love 7s and 8s, especially when they're mixed together. What else do we got here? Had this note as well. Had 5 5 1 1 and 3 7s. I kept it. It was close enough. I thought it was worth a little bit more than face value. It might fetch $5 or $6 online. And we had 5 8s in a row here. Same between two 2s. Ending with a 4, which kind of ruins it, but it's okay. 5 in a row will always fetch a premium. This one was taped to something, so I may try to get that tape off later. You can see that on both ends. I don't know why, but hopefully I won't ruin the bill if I try to get it off. Had some birthday notes here as well. August 26th, 1942. July 26th, 1969. May 18th, 1933. These are in the European format. This one's more in the American format, the standard format. February 17th, 1978. And March 20th, 1993. Also had a couple of tombstone bills, kind of like from birth to the grave kind of thing. It's kind of dark, but hey, they do have some meaning to people. 1925 to 2016, and 1938 to 1970. And that, to finish off, we had a few famous dates. And these were cool. I don't normally keep older dates unless they have something important behind them. This one here, which would be, it's not in the right format what I usually keep, but you can read it as June 19th, 1849. On that date, the government announced the death of James K. Polk, our president, which is, I would say, significant enough to keep on a note. This next one, December 13th, 1850, Millard Fillmore delivered a speech regarding an agreement with Texas on this date. So a presidential speech happened this date. Kind of cool. And this next one was May 12th, 1874. A telegram was sent on this day in Arkansas during a war. It was the Brooks-Baxter War of April and May of 1874. It was an armed conflict following the gubernatorial race between Joseph Brooks and Elisha Baxter. Settlement of the election dispute in favor of Elisha Baxter ultimately ended Reconstruction and the reign of Republicans in the state of Arkansas. This collection contains telegrams sent. Okay, this is I'm reading from the website. So this is one of the telegrams that was sent during that on that date. I believe here, let me find that exact one. April. There are quite a few of them. Yeah. Actually, there's more than one sent on May 12th. There were several, at least five. Pretty important day in history in Arkansas. I kept that one. And that is it. I believe that's everything I've covered. Pretty good hunt. Definitely worthwhile, even though it does require a lot of patience. Like I said, if you can actually watch that sort of stream and not go complete zombie mode because of how boring it can be and tedious, I get it. This is the hobby that requires a lot of free time, enough free money, at least you can buy 500 to 1,000 notes at a time, because you want to go through a bunch. The more you go through, the better your chances are. It's not for everybody. It is, like I said, extremely tedious, time consuming, but when it pays off, it can pay off big time. A good arrow bill can sell for a couple $100. Even these duplicate B series star notes, they sell for a pretty heavy premium. I mean, these notes right here can bring, as a grouping, $75 easily, possibly even $90, just for $3. Turning $3 into $75 or $90, always worth it. You just got to have the time and patience. And I will have to say, this is probably my favorite bill of the hunt. I don't find many duplicate B series in this condition and with a fancy serial number on them. It's a great hunt. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.